George Sessions.
Hi, George, media. You didn't seem absolutely at your best then, but I guess probably pleased that you're kind of working your way into the tournament with more to come, obviously, in coming up.
Yeah, tough one. There were a few things that didn't feel quite right today, but that's half the battle in sport, is being able to find a way when it's not feeling all that great. But I felt like when my back was against the wall today, I was able to bring the good stuff, and it just wasn't quite there all the time. But we've got another opportunity to now go out in the practice court, work on it, and try and bring some good stuff in the third round.
You obviously made a few more double faults here than you did in that first game, but you seemed quite aggressive on the second serve. Was that something you was kind of conscious of, that you wasn't going to let the first one not land in there affect you?
Yeah, not my best serving day, but that happens as well. I felt like I was just out of rhythm a little bit. A few technical things weren't quite feeling spot on, but you have those days where some days you feel like you're 8 foot tall and you can't miss the box, and other days, like today, you feel like you're 3 foot nothing and just getting over the net's a bit of a battle. So I think we just go back to work. It's certainly nothing that will concern me over a longer period. We have those days, we just go back to kind of the routines that we usually would and try and find a way in the next match.
Jacqueline Magnay.
Hi, Ashleigh. Jacqueline Magnay from the Australian newspaper. Just on your serve, was it a conscious effort to do the second serve quite aggressively, or were you still feeling the effects of your hip injury?
No, I feel fine. I think it was just not a great serving day, so certainly not something I'm going to blow out of proportion.
Willie Weinbaum.
Hi, Ash. How old do you think you were when you first learned about Yvonne Goolagong? And if you could describe for you how your knowledge of her developed over time and your feelings for her legacy.
I think from when I was quite young, obviously, I learnt about the way that she played the game of tennis, and I think probably once I first met Yvonne when I was 13 years old was when I began to really understand the impact that she had on people's lives outside of tennis, because I think I met her in just in Brizzy one day when we were talking about her foundation and kind of all of the things that she was doing off the court, and then of course that led to more curiosity of how she played the game, to more curiosity of how she's impacted people since she retired, and kind of her legacy that she's left after her tennis. So I think it was a gradual progression as I got older. I was obviously more curious, and when I was able to when I began a relationship with her, it was kind of when there was more of an open conversation between both of us, and kind of me trying to learn and be a sponge as best I could and learn from one of the greats.
And just one quick follow-up. What do you think the legacy of her accomplishment here at Wimbledon is?
It's a legacy of opportunity, in my opinion. I feel like there's the way that she approached her tennis and approached her matches here at Wimbledon. It was a courageous stepping into the unknown. I think there was no one that had done it before her from our heritage, and I think for her to be able to be the first one to pave that path was really showing that no matter what anyone says, you can go out there and believe in your dreams, put your dreams out into the universe, and you never know what can quite happen if you're willing to work for it and get after it.
Jacqueline?
Jacqueline again, sorry, my mute button wasn't working. I wanted to ask a follow-up question, and that is, in your next match with Katerina Siniakova, how will you approach this match against her, and what will you look to work on, or when you step out on the court, what mindset will you have?
The same as every other match. I try and approach every single match with the same mindset, and that's one that I go out there and try and play my opponent one-on-one. I try and bring my game style and play my game style as often as possible, and knowing what their strengths and weaknesses are. And I go to work with Tyres. We work on a few things. We talk about a few things, but there's certainly nothing drastic that changes. It's more the way that we like to approach how we go out there and play each and every match.
I'm just wondering, have you played her before?
In doubles, plenty of times. I don't believe so in singles.
Craig Gabriel.
Actually, a couple of matches now that you've got under your belt on the center court. Have you noticed any difference in playing on the court, the way the surface is played from the first match to this one?
Traditionally, the court is obviously played in a lot more. You could even see today there was more wear and tear behind the baseline, and that's natural for a grass court, is that it's played in. I think it was certainly nice to be able to have some sun on it today and have the roof open for most of the last 2 days. I think that helps the grass kind of breathe and be played in a bit more naturally, I think. It certainly felt a little bit firmer today, but again, in 2 days' time, all of the courts are more worn in. Each and every time you step on these courts here at Wimbledon, they've had a few more matches on them, and that's kind of the challenge, is that the courts adapt. You have to adapt with them and have to understand that they do change throughout the tournament.
Couple of matches in now. How do you feel? I mean, obviously you don't want to play your best tennis now, but how do you feel the progress has been? Where would you say percentage-wise you are at the moment?
I'm exactly where I am, and that's all I can ask. I mean, there's no kind of percentage of how I'm playing. It's just trying to find a way each and every day, each and every match, and I feel good. Like I feel like it's certainly nice now to have another opportunity in the third round here at Wimbledon, and I'm looking forward to another challenge of playing Katarina. It's a tough one. I'm looking forward to it. It's different challenges each and every opponent, and that's all I can do is prepare for that opponent as best I can and see what happens.
Does it make it a bit awkward when you don't get an opportunity to practice on the court that you're going to play a match on? Because I'm figuring you're probably not going to get center court a third match in a row. You never know, though, and it could be court one. But what about that aspect of it? Does it really? I mean, I know you're so easygoing and nothing bothers you, but what do you think?
It doesn't bother me, Craig. It certainly, whichever court I get to play on here at Wimbledon, it's a privilege, and which, I mean, the courts are all a little bit different. They're all a bit unique. That's natural. I think any tournament in the world, each court is a little bit different and plays a bit differently, and that understanding that comes with experience. But if what court I played on bothered me, that would be a bigger issue. I think I'm enjoying all the opportunities that I get to play on all courts around the world, and playing on centre court here at Wimbledon is a very special thing, and certainly something that I don't take for granted.
Any further questions? Ian.
Hi, Ash, Australian Associated Press. I just wondered what your thoughts were about the draw as it stands, with so many of your big rivals having disappeared from the draw now. It's obviously Naomi's now Serena as well. Simone has gone. Do you feel as though this is turning out to be potentially a golden opportunity for you?
That's an impossible question to answer. You've had, I mean, the three names that you mentioned are all not in the draw for different reasons, and that's not something that I can control. And I think speculating now is a waste of time, and it's certainly not something that I'm going to do is be looking at the draw. I never have, I never will. And obviously those that are injured, I really hope that they get healthy and they're playing out again, playing out here again soon. So it's a waste of time thinking about that.
Okay, we have no further questions. We will
Thanks,
conclude
guys.
the press conference there. Thank you very much.
Thank you.